Well, now we're going on to assembling the skirt back. And you can see that I have inserted the center applied zipper right here. And I can assure you, sewing with black fabric, with a black zipper and black thread, even with all the lighting I've got, was difficult for me to see some of the real tight little tiny areas. So you're going to be really glad that you watched the other portion of our lessons from our Make It Sew series, where the center applied zipper was done in multicolors, because you got to see so much detail. I know you wouldn't have been able to with this black application. So let's go on and now do the princess seams or the gourd seams. So there's a side back, here's a side back, and there's the center back. Now we're going to place right sides together, match those notches that you made for their princess seams, and line up the top, line up the hemline, and this one is ready to be stitched. I'll just move that out of the way, and we're going to take right sides of this panel and put it onto the center back panel. We'll put in a couple of pins just to stabilize everything. And we're going to take this to the sewing machine, and we're going to sew with permanent stitches. You know, the fact is that I always recommend that you test your body blueprint first of all before you go on to any kind of a fashion garment. And once your blueprint has been tested, then you're safe to go ahead and sew it with permanent stitches, because you know that it's going to fit you. Alrighty, so we're going to begin with the 2.5 millimeter stitch length, and this is 5/8 of an inch wide for the seam allowance. And we'll go along to the other side seam, not side seam, gourd seam, or the princess seam. All right, now let's take a look at it. And there we have the back of the skirt all put together. Now, a couple of things I'd like to mention. Like we did on the skirt front, I will serge these seam allowances, and I will serge them separately and press them open. And the pressing open is something that is important. You can see that this won't lay flat on the board. And the reason it won't lay flat is because I've got the dart incorporated there. So once you've serged the seam allowances, then my ham is behind me, so I can't grab it. But we'll take a photograph of this, and we'll show you pressing this curved section up at the top of the princess seam. We'll show you pressing it over top of the tailor's ham so that you get a nice shape to the back of the body. And I did that, of course, on the front of the skirt as well. So go ahead and construct the back of your skirt. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you have, I invite you to join the Sherfa Designs community if you haven't already. And you can do that in 3 easy steps. Number 1, make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Sherfit Designs. Secondly, make sure to sign up for our newsletter list. And you can do that by going to sherfitdesigns.com. And there are free gifts to get you started. And if you happen to be a Facebook fan, we do have a private group. Go to facebook.com/groups/Sherfit Designs. Request to join. Make sure you answer the 3 questions, and I'll approve you. Thanks so much for watching.